So I was gonna make a video. I was gonna do another DC News video, but I woke up feeling very anxious, very, very not myself, and I wanted to make a video about Sorry, my phone's telling me that it's dying, so I gotta try and make this not as long. But I wanted to make a video about my anxiety because I know there are a lot of people that deal with anxiety in many forms, and I feel like maybe talking about my experience might help people, and that's really what I want to do. I always want to help, and I want to make people laugh, and I want to inform people, and I want to be as open and as honest as I possibly can about things that I've gone through. And I've been diagnosed with crippling social anxiety. I've been diagnosed with chronic anxiety. And it's hard. Because there are days where, the moment I start to wake up, I'm grinding my teeth because I'm so anxious. And I'm sweating and my hands are shaking and I stumble over my words, or I fidget, or I twitch, which you can't see my hands right now, but this is what's going on right now because my hands are very sweaty and I'm very fidgety and nervous, and it's weird. But it started when I was young. I remember being about 9 or 10-ish when I started feeling really uneasy because I've mentioned this before in other videos. I've had a lot of issues growing up. I was not popular growing up. I was bullied, sometimes violently, because I was overweight, because I had acne, because I didn't dress like the other girls and I didn't do what the other girls did, and I was always looked at as this weird girl that kind of just hung around and just tried to fit in with everyone, and was always told that I tried too hard and that I was annoying, and girls would point out the fact that my teeth were yellow and that I had, pimples on my face at a very young age because I had gone through puberty young. I think I was like 10 when I went through it, and being heavy didn't really help. It kind of made it worse. And on top of that, dealing with home issues that I had, which, alcohol and drugs were a heavy part of my family, as well as fighting and violence, and my dad walking out, which happened when I was 15, and then again when I was 21. When I was 15, my dad packed up his stuff and started moving out little by little without my mom knowing. And then when he was moving out the last of his stuff, my dad pretty much told my mom that they were done. And after that, I didn't really have too much contact with my dad. It would be mainly just for me to go pick up child support sometimes. He didn't really pay it all the time. But going back, I remember a lot of times that kind of triggered me, kind of knowing that I wasn't going to grow up and be normal, that I was going to have problems, that I wasn't going to be like everyone else. When you have alcohol and drugs in your family and you grow up and you're surrounded by it, and you're surrounded by fighting, and you're surrounded by so much anger and hatred by two people that are supposed to, protect you and keep you safe. It's hard to be normal when that's going on, because how do you be normal when your parents hate each other? And how do you be normal when you're, when people in your family that you looked up to at one point are doing drugs? And how do you be normal when you go to school and you go in the lunchroom and there's nowhere to sit because nobody wants you there. And you have to sit alone and everybody's kind of looking at you and pointing at you and making fun of you, and you know they are because they're not hiding it. They're pointing right at you and laughing. And I used to get made fun of for reading, and I used to get made fun of for being into music because that was really all I had. And then in 8th grade, one of my friends had stolen a notebook that I used to write in all the time, and it used to have poems, and it would have songs, and it would have my thoughts. It was just like everything I ever couldn't tell anyone, I would just write it down in that book. And there were people that I thought they were my friends, and they took the book and they read it, and they turned it into the school because they were afraid. That's what they claimed. Later they told me because they thought I was crazy because I was reading a book about Wicca because I was interested, and they thought that I was going to put a spell on everybody and put a curse on them. So after that, my parents were kind of told about the book, about my poems, and how they were disturbing and how they were dark and stuff like that. And of course my dad blamed music, and he tried to take my computer away, and he tried to take music away, and he wanted to lock me in my room and didn't really want to deal with it. He just didn't want to accept the fact that his daughter was unhappy. And that's fine, I guess. I understand it to an extent, but it didn't help. So by the time this had all unraveled, I was already leaving grammar school, so there wasn't really much that they could do. They just wanted to bring it to my parents' attention. And when I went into high school, freshman year was rough because I was just getting heavier and heavier, and my skin was getting worse and worse, and to the point where I had kids picking on me every day, laughing at me behind me, calling me wide load, telling me I took up the whole hallway. I had kids tell me when I walk the floor shakes, and I've actually had a kid tell me to kill myself. I've had things like this happen all the time because they thought I was emo, and because they thought I was emo, they would tell me to kill myself or go cut myself in a corner. And cutting and self-harm is something that I've always had struggled with, even to this day. There are days where I'm so drained and I kind of miss it, and I have to like fight it because I feel like if I go back there, God knows where I'll end up. And I've made a video about that, and eventually this will all be a part of, all those videos will be a part of a playlist that hopefully can help people. But in high school, I had written another piece. We were asked to write a self-portrait. And my self-portrait was very dark because this was right before my parents had split up. And the drinking had gotten worse, and the fighting had gotten worse to the point where I didn't even stay home anymore. Kind of slept at my friend Jenny's house all the time because I couldn't take it. A lot of my mom accusing me of loving Jenny's family more than mine, and sometimes I did. Sometimes I really, really did. And after that, when they had read the self-portrait, they didn't call my parents, but they had talked to me about it and told them how it disturbed them and that they were worried about me and my personal safety, about how I was handling things. And our school had licensed psychiatrists that you could go talk to, because I went to public school. It wasn't a great public school. Things did happen. You know, a kid got shot in my school once. There was, I believe a kid got shot and a kid got stabbed. And at the one time when I was there was a fire in the auditorium, and there was also, I think, a knife scare or something like that, or a gun scare. So it wasn't the safest school, and there was a lot of trauma there and a lot of stuff going on. So they did have this outlet. And I would go, and I went, and I would talk to the first psychiatrist I talked to kind of just always chalked up all of my issues to, oh, well, you're a teenager. You're a teenager. You'll grow out of it. You're going to grow out of this. You'll be fine. I had requested for a new therapist because I didn't I was like, this isn't helping me. I was like, I don't need someone telling me that my problems aren't important because I'm a teenager. Then I got involved with one therapist who was amazing. Her name was Roxanne. And she had told me the truth. She was like, do you ever feel paranoid for no reason? Do you ever feel nervous? Do you bite at the skin of your fingers? Do you grind your teeth? Do you ever feel like when you wake up you can't catch your breath? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, based on what I've heard, it sounds like you have severe chronic anxiety, and she's like a little bit of social anxiety, and there's other stuff. I'll maybe possibly make a video about other mental issues that I have because I feel like these can help somebody. And it's hard because when you have anxiety, depression is when you're, for me anyway, I'm not going to say what depression is because everybody's depression is different, but for me, depression, when my depression hits, it's always like I'm just sad for no, like, I know I'm sad and I know there's a reason, I just don't know what it is. It's like it's something in here that I can't get it out, and it's just sitting in my chest all day, and it feels like it's a rock. And it's scary, and I hate it, and I'm tired of feeling like that all the time, because I wake up every day, and my chest feels like it weighs 1,000 pounds, and with tomorrow, I'm going to be making a video about this, but I decided to quit smoking cigarettes, and for a long time, cigarettes were like a crutch. It's like if I got stressed out, if I got anxious, if I got depressed, I would just go outside, I'd smoke a cigarette, and for that moment of time, I was okay. And now I'm not going to have that crutch anymore. And it's so frustrating. Because when you tell people that you're anxious, or that you're depressed, or that something is wrong, they just tell you, oh, it's no big deal. Like, you'll be alright. You'll get over it. And it's just like, no. Like, this is a part of me now. Like, my anxiety is a part of who I am. My depression is a part of who I am. And I can't do anything about it. And before you guys ask if I ever tried medication, I have, and I don't enjoy it. I don't like the fact that I feel very zombie-like when I take it. For a long time, I used to self-medicate with marijuana. It used to help, and it used to make me feel good, and it used to not make me anxious. And I still do it sometimes because it feels like it's the only thing that I kind of have from time to time. But I guess the whole moral of me telling you this, it just feels like I'm rambling for like ever. Your problems are important, and everything you're going through matters, and don't let anyone tell you that your mental health is a phase, or that you'll get over it, or that it'll go away. Because me personally, it hasn't. It's gotten worse as I've gotten older, but I've tried to think of ways to deal with it. But don't let anyone make you feel like you're not valid because of a mental health issue that you're having, because it's not fair. And I feel like so many people with mental health issues are being tossed aside like nothing. Like it's all just teenage problems. Well, I'll be 27 in less than 2 weeks, and I still wake up every day and I have to think of a laundry list of reasons to get out of bed. And that is a shitty way to live, man. Like, I can't think of reasons to get out of bed sometimes. Like, I always think of how much easier it would be if, like, I didn't exist. If I just wipe my hands of everything. Of all the bullshit, of all the anger and the drama of all of it, and carrying everyone else's shit, and trying to be perfect, and trying to get everybody to like you, and worrying every second of every day, is that person, like, does that person hate me? Does that person, you know, are the people I love gonna keep dying? Or am I ever gonna make anything of myself? am I just here? Like, am I just here sucking up oxygen? Because if so, I can stop. Like, I can stop sucking up oxygen at any point in time. And I don't want to feel that way anymore. And it's so tiring, and it's so draining. And there are days I just want to cry all day. Like now. So I'm sorry, but oh my God, there's just so many days where I'm just so over being alive. And I know guys are like, oh, how's this supposed to help if you feel this way too? Because you're not alone. Like, there are people out there who feel the same way you do. And all of you people that feel that way, I wish I could hug you. I wish I could literally, like, oh God, I wish I could hug every single one of you. Because you're all so great in your own way. And everybody keeps just telling you that you're not. And I hate it. Because you don't deserve it. You deserve everything in the world. You deserve such happiness. And you deserve to be surrounded by people that love you. I deserve it too. We all deserve it. We all deserve a life that we're proud of and that we're happy with, and that we shouldn't wake up every day wondering why bother. And so many of us wonder that. And I know I felt that way today. Today's just one of those days where I just think, like, this could be it. This could be the last day on earth. And I'm not sad about it. But I feel like if I did that, then everything I had gone through, you know, the alcohol, dealing with the alcohol abuse in my family, the drug abuse, being, I don't even want to say victim, being a survivor of molestation and rape and mental and physical and emotional abuse, I feel like, what's the point of ending my life after all of that? And I want you guys to think about that too. Like, all the bad shit that you've gone through, why let it win? Why let it take everything from you? I know I'm trying not to. I'm trying so hard not to let all the shit that I go through eat me up inside. And I hate to say it, doing these videos over the last 2 months-ish, it's been the only thing, and it might sound pathetic, but it's been the only thing that's kind of given me a reason to get out of bed every day. So, thank you to all the people, you know, to the people that watch, and to the people that subscribe, and thank you, because you've given me something to look forward to every day. And every night I get so happy to make ideas for videos and to do them, and I just want to say thank you. And I want you guys to go to the mirror. I don't want you to look at yourselves, and I want you to tell yourselves that you are perfect just the way you are. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Because I love you just the way you are, despite any flaw you think you might have. Because I used to always say, the damaged people are always the best. And I'm very damaged, and I'm sure some of you are too. And let's get through it together. Because I don't know what I would do without the 6 of you that watch my videos. But I love you guys. And I'll be here tomorrow. I'll try and be here every day after that. But I just want you guys to know that I love you. And I doubt this video helped you, but it was just stuff that I need to get off my chest. Mental health is not a joke. It's something that is real, and people deal with it every day. And we need to acknowledge that. And that's pretty much it. We need to take this more seriously. I love you.